When I started my Counter-Strike journey, I just gathered a group of friends, created a team, and started attending local events. Eventually, that allowed me to rise through the ranks of our scene and climb to the top. But that was 10 years ago, and the environment in gaming has changed so much, so I wondered, what would I do if I started now in 2023? I thought about what are the most important factors of success in CS and created a list of tips that, if given to my young self, would allow me to reach my potential so much faster. So the obvious question is, how would I practice my aim? First thing I would need to do is realize that there is huge difference between a warm-up and actual aim practice. Just in the recent years, there has been a new appearance of specialized tools just to practice your aim. I know I would spend a part of my aim training time using one of these tools. An example of these would be AimLab or Kovacs. The main benefit of these is that they allow you to focus on very narrow aspects of your aim. It is very important to analyze your gameplay to find your weaknesses in your aim and create routines that focus on these weaknesses. For example, just last year, I noticed that my flicks to the left are way less accurate than flicks to the right. That allowed me to find a scenario in an aim trainer that specifically focuses on that part of aim. If you start practicing this way as a beginner, it could be a game changer. But enough about aim trainers. Of course, practicing raw aim is not enough. Still, the most important thing if you want to be mechanically great in CS, you have to practice mechanics directly in CS. A large part of my aim routine would be practicing mechanics that are only present in CS. So for example, spraying down moving targets or spray transfers and learning how to move correctly to throw off opponent's aim with proper movement. And I would brainstorm how I can practice these things in CS, either on aim training maps or deathmatch. Focused and directed training is king, so think how you can practice effectively, not just mindlessly run around without purpose. Another thing is reminding yourself of things that you already know and you're comfortable with. While it is important to work on your weaknesses, you have to make sure your strengths stay strengths. My example would be that I always have trouble remembering spray pattern of less used guns, such as FAMAS or Galil. And eventually I made it part of my routine to remind myself these patterns, and this made me much more consistent and dangerous players even if I had worse weapon. You can customize the duration of aim training session to fit you. My aim training can be easily 60 to 90 minutes of playtime. Most important thing is that this training naturally evolves, and I am always trying out new and interesting workshop maps, so I'm not stuck on aimbots for whole duration. It just becomes a little boring. I stumbled upon a map like TR Blank by random many years ago, and since then it became part of my core routine whenever I feel like my aim is becoming rusty. Of course, one of the most important things is that you create your routine that you will actually do, so enjoying it is most important. You always have to keep thinking how to evolve your aim routine to specifically fit your strengths and weaknesses. Now, the second part, warm-up. So warm-up is something you should do every day before every session to get ready to perform at your best. That is why, in contrast to aim routine, warm-up shouldn't take too long, preferably less than 20-25 minutes. So I would focus on creating a warm-up that gives me the most confidence. Copying someone else's warm-up routine is not ideal. It should be your own, created by you, tweaked and experimented with over time by you. To drive the point home, some players warm up just by playing serve. It gives them confidence because it calms them down and it's part of their ritual. So my suggestion is to try things out as much as you can and see what makes you feel the best. The last thing I would recommend is a Powerball or any similar wrist or hand exercise tool. It's a great tool to start a warm-up off and as a prevention for wrist pain during excessive gaming sessions. So let's move on to in-game knowledge. So even though training aim is fun, it would be a big mistake to only focus on aim. As people always say, you should never put all of your eggs in one basket. There are many ways we need to deepen our knowledge of the game. Many people get discouraged from watching demos because it definitely is a process. You have to find a GoTV demo, download it, put it in the correct directory, and then use 20-year-old demo interface to control the whole experience. It often is enough to just watch more Counter-Strike. Pay attention to what decisions players make and try to think why they made those decisions. Analyzing streams of games is much more beneficial than just blindly watching a demo without any purpose. Of course, demo watching has its purpose, but it should be much more focused. For many years, I was avoiding watching demos for one simple reason. It was boring. I didn't know how to watch demos effectively, and there were so many things that I was focusing on that in the end, I wasn't focusing on anything at all. That is why to this day, before every review, I'm outlining 2 key points what I want to observe and focus on. One is primary, something I look for constantly, and one key point is secondary, usually something I look for more passively. For example, if I want to become better at opening on Seaside Ancient, I would go ahead and download Device Demo. My primary focus point would be the opening peaks he's taking, how he creates advantage for his team. Secondary focus would be how he plays whenever opponents are on eco and see difference in his risk-taking. But if you want to gain a lot of CS knowledge real fast, I have cheat code for you, so simply watch a lot of CS content. There are some amazing content creators out there on YouTube, TikTok or Twitch that are putting out videos that could improve your game. So next time you're mindlessly scrolling through your social media, think about the time how you wanted to improve and get some free elo and search for some of these channels. So Nard out here for keeping you up to date with nade lineups, FN scenes, with little tricks and plays aimed for FACEIT, Jane for more in-depth content from perspective of a pro player, or Launders for nice demo reviews. And if you like this channel, hitting the subscribe and like button will assure me doing more of this, so thanks. There are some things that took me a long time to realize in my career. For example, here is one that is very simple but extremely impactful. Be curious. I strongly recommend to initiate talks about the game with other players, teammates, or streamers. You come to new conclusions, solutions, and your in-game knowledge deepens. You would be surprised how much people open up when they feel like their opinion really matters to you. There is no perfect way to play CS, and that is okay. You will learn how other people see the game, and it opens up possibility to learn from each other. This point becomes extremely important when you get to team environment. Generally speaking, there are 2 paths that can lead you to professional CS. So the FACEIT path, or solo path, of grinding your way through leaderboards in hopes of getting noticed by other pro players, and the team path, where you attempt to gather groups of like-minded people to improve together within a team. While the solo path is gaining on popularity, I feel like for most cases it is inferior to actually playing within a team. Playing within a team forces you to improve in much broader range of skills that are anyway required if you manage to get signed into a pro team. So you simply cannot acquire some skills when playing solo. Doing so long enough might create big holes in your game or social skills that will be very hard to overcome later on in your career. If you can't find a team, it is very beneficial to put effort into finding one or taking initiative and creating one with players around your skill level. Even if you don't know many players around your skill level, socializing with players from solo games may open up opportunities for you. This is a needed skill within a team game. You can't simply neglect the social aspect. The factor that is most impactful in forming a real team is having common shared goal for the group. So for example, if you're in a relationship with someone who expects that you will marry and have 4 kids together while you're just having fun, you can see how damaging it can be, and breakup is pretty much inevitable. And the same applies for team environment. You are going to enter relationship with 4 more people, and if your main goal doesn't align, you will collapse. These goals can be literally anything. You want to become best in your school, best in your country, or best team in the world. It doesn't really matter as long as all of you are honest and share same vision. You will work towards that goal. The point of having same dream is simple. You will create this beautiful environment of pushing each other forward every single time you play. Even if you have a bad period, others will help you get back on track, and they will keep you accountable for what you are doing and how you practice. This just creates a trend of constant improvement, leading in better results and getting closer to the goal. I am going to go on the limb here and dare to say that if you're in a team that want to win your local league while you aim to win huge championships, you might as well reconsider staying in this environment. I'm almost sure that will not work out, as in my experience it never did, and your teammates will drag your improvement rate down. One tip I would give is whenever you feel like your team drifted away from common goal, try to take initiative and communicate to your teammates why you feel that way. So that's it. Condensing my decade of experience into short video is of course difficult, but in my opinion, this is the core knowledge that will for sure make the climb to the top easier for you. Hope you liked it and learned something new. And if you did, then check out this video that YouTube thinks you will like. Bye bye.